smoke, men in chains on deck, and one of them isn't afraid. He looks at the pirates with something close to boredom. The pirates thought they'd captured a man. They had no idea what they'd done. That man told them their ransom demand was too low, that he was worth twice the price. Then he promised them that when he got free, he'd crucify every single one of them. That wasn't a threat. It was a promise. Welcome to Curioholics Epic Chronicles, where we dig up the stories history tried to bury. Today we open the file on Julius Caesar, not the dictator, not the general. The 25-year-old who was kidnapped by pirates in the Mediterranean, treated them like subordinates for 38 days while their prisoner negotiated his own ransom upward, and then kept every single promise he made while they held him captive. This episode doesn't make it into the history books, and it's the one that best explains how Caesar became Caesar. So 75 BC, Caesar is 25 years old. He's nobody yet, no wars won, no major office held. He's a young Roman from a patrician family, sailing to Rhodes to study rhetoric under the greatest teacher of public speaking in the ancient world. He won't make it to Rhodes. The Mediterranean at that time was pirate territory. The Cilician pirates, from the southern coast of what is now Turkey, controlled the sea lanes with an efficiency Rome had spent decades failing to break. They weren't disorganized raiders. They were an industry, fleets, bases, communication networks, and one very specific business model: kidnapping wealthy Roman citizens for ransom. Near Cape Pharmacusa, off the coast of Asia Minor, Caesar's ship was intercepted. They took him and his small entourage captive and made the most expensive mistake in their history. The pirates demanded 20 silver talents as ransom, a considerable sum, the equivalent of decades of wages for a Roman worker. Caesar looked at them and laughed. He told them 20 talents was an insult, that he was worth at least 50. The pirates, baffled, agreed. Caesar sent most of his entourage to raise the money and stayed on the pirate ship with just 2 servants and a doctor for 38 days. What happened during those 38 days is one of the most extraordinary episodes in ancient history. Caesar didn't act like a prisoner. He acted like the host. When he wanted to sleep, he told the pirates to be quiet. If they made noise, he insulted them and demanded silence. He read them his poems and speeches, and if they didn't applaud enthusiastically enough, he called them uneducated and ignorant. He played games with them, exercised on deck, ate at their table, and every night, before sleeping, he reminded them calmly that when he was free, he'd hunt them down and crucify every single one. The pirates thought it was a joke. The ransom arrived, 50 silver talents. The pirates released Caesar. Caesar reached the port of Miletus, and the first thing he did was raise a fleet. Without waiting for Senate authorization, without coordinating with any Roman military command, using his own money and borrowed funds, Caesar equipped several ships, gathered men, and sailed back to Pharmacusa. The pirates were still there, still spending the ransom. Caesar captured every one of them. He took them to Pergamon and asked the Roman governor of the province to execute them. The governor, more interested in the loot than in justice, stalled. Caesar didn't wait. He went back to the prison, took the pirates out, and kept his promise. That's not mercy. That's someone who keeps his word to the letter and decides the terms himself. This happened when Caesar was 25. before the Gallic Wars, before the Rubicon, before he became dictator for life. And yet everything was already there. The coldness of a man who treats a threat like a transaction. The intelligence of a man who turns captivity into a demonstration of power. The will of a man who doesn't wait for anyone's permission to act. The pirates thought they had a prisoner. What they had was all of Rome on a single ship, and Rome always collects its debts. If this story hit different, hit like so the algorithm doesn't nail you to a feed you didn't choose. Subscribe to Curioholics Epic Chronicles. And tell me in the comments, was Caesar justified, or did he go too far? History is always darker when you turn the lights off. Until then, stay curious.